What's good? Bevan here with Tried and True EDC. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Wuben X4. Before we jump in, just going to touch on some of the stuff that you do receive with the package. So you get a box, and inside the box, you get another box. And that's where the flashlight's contained, as well as all this other accessories, including the instruction manual. You got a charging cable, a lanyard, and then this is on the battery. So you do have to remove this plastic piece before the light will actually function. If you try to turn it on without removing it, nothing happens. It's basically just placed between the spring and the battery, so there's no connection. This has a nice design to it. It uses aluminum alloy for the body, which is a common metal that's used because it's relatively lightweight and it helps with heat dissipation. And it's kind of got this rugged look to it. It is rectangular, as you can see, but even beyond that, it has a lot of different other expansions of the shape itself. It feels solid in hand. It's got a nice bit of weight. It's about just under 5 ounces, including the battery that's already comes installed. There are plenty of features on this flashlight. You have different selections that you can use toggling the switch up and down. You've got a tail switch right here in the back. And what it does, it has a side light and then actually goes into all the colors of the rainbow. And I'll show you all the different light sources a little bit later in the video. It has a moonlight mode that you can select right there. And then the main LED light, which has floodlight capabilities and it has a decent amount of throw. In turbo mode, it is able to reach 205 meters or 224 yards. So you, in theory, should be able to reach the length of 2 football fields. This is somewhat water resistant. It's rated IP68, so it has some durability if you drop it, but also it can be submerged in water up to about 6 feet, a little over 6 feet, for about an hour. Let's run through all the different features. To charge the light, you would need to slide up to the moonlight mode, and that is the USB-C. So they include the cable as I showcased at the beginning of this video. So you just plug that in right there. It is more universal with a USB-C cable, so I do appreciate that. So to access the battery, you would want to unlock this portion right here, and it tells you. So if you're facing this way, left is locked, right is unlocked. So once you do unlock it, just press this button, pops up. There's your battery, and this is replaceable as well as rechargeable. So if you don't have the opportunity to recharge the battery, you can just have a replaceable one handy and just go ahead and unlock it. Now I read online there is some talk about how it's difficult to unlock. If you use your thumb to try to push up, yeah, the way they designed it, if you're putting pressure on it, it actually makes it nearly impossible. For me, I cannot disengage and unlock this. However, just use your fingernail and you can just push it to the right. It's easier to lock it than it is to unlock it. So once the battery's all set up, we'll start. In this selection, it is locked, so nothing happens. You can't turn it on with the button nor with the tail switch. Now, for this portion, I'm going to turn off my light so that way we can take a look and see the light a little better. This first mode uses the side light right here. So if you use the button right there, and to change the different brightness or increase the lumens, you use this rotary dial right here. So just turn it to the right, it will increase. And if you do go past, it will just reset itself at the maximum brightness. Now, if you turn counterclockwise, it will decrease. And again, if you go past that point, it will just keep resetting to the lowest lumens. The side light does come at from 1 to 100 lumens. So from the lowest is 1, obviously the highest is at 100. You know, what's kind of neat about this, if you press and hold the button, it changes to an RGB light. And you can toggle between this using the dial, the rotary, and then you can change it to all different colors of the rainbow, minus orange. And if you double tap it, it acts like a beacon. So it will flash. If If you need to grab someone's attention, maybe SOS, and just press it again and it'll stop and it'll actually turn off. Double tap it from the off position. It will have a different flashing pattern than the one I showed you. So the one before is more like a beacon, where this is probably more like SOS if you're in distress. So double tap it and you'll change between the different flashing colors. So now it's flashing between red and blue. If you double tap it again, it goes to red and green. Double tap it again, it goes back to red and yellow. And press it again to turn it off. In this selection, you can use this tail switch, but it only turns on in turbo. So that's pretty bright, hopefully not to try to blind you. If you double tap it, it goes on strobe. I'll just turn it off, so because I'm even blinding myself by doing that. And you do have to hold it down for it to stay on. So if you do let go, it does turn off. You can also use the same features with the tail switch on the next mode. Turbo, strobe. So this mode is your main source of light. The way I would consider it on a flashlight. You have your, once you turn it on, it does have a memory mode. So whatever it was last selected will be the lumens that it emits. So if you, again, with the rotary dial, if you keep turning left, it'll keep resetting at the lowest. And then you can charge it all the way up to the turbo mode. And then you can just kind of play around to see what lumens you like. The lumens range from moonlight at 5 lumens to 1500 lumens at turbo. So let's say you're at the low point and whatever lumens is around 5, the lower setting. You double click the button and it will jump to turbo. Now if you turn it off and you turn it back on, it will stay at that mode. So you do have to dial it back down. But if you left it on the lowest setting, for instance right there, turn it off, turn it back on, it will come back on that same setting, just to showcase the memory mode. And lastly, we have the moonlight, indicated by that symbol. Moonlight mode is not changeable. It will only stay in this setting. This is coming in at 5 lumens, which isn't necessarily moonlight. Most of the time, moonlight is coming in at 1 lumens, just barely any light being emitted. But this is coming in at 5 lumens for the moon, based on how they designed it. And then you can also use the tail switch. And this time, you don't have to hold it down. You just click it, and it'll pop up. Let's click it off again. That's the only thing you can do with the tail switch in this setting, in the moon setting. So if you double click it, nothing happens. It does come with a pocket clip for the carry system. So let me give you a shot of that in the pocket. I've been rocking this for about a week or two, and it's not bad. For myself, I tend to stay away from cylindrical flashlights because of the way it bulges in your pocket. Now, this doesn't have the same type of shape, obviously, but it does present, since it is a little thicker, it does present a bit more bulge in your pocket than a slimmer rectangular flashlight. Just has kind of a comparison, such as this one, but this doesn't even have a carry system. You can also clip it onto a pack. It is somewhat deep carry, except for the light is pointing upwards. I would prefer something that points downwards. However, this is designed, you can't switch the clip any other orientation. This is the way it comes. You can remove it though. These are using Torx screws from what I see. So you can pop that off if you don't want to use it with the pipe. If you don't want to use it with the pocket clip, and you can throw on that lanyard that I showed in the beginning of the video. The ergonomics are nice on this. It does feel a little bulky in hand. It's not uncomfortable, I wouldn't say. It depends how you grip it. I personally don't grip a flashlight extremely hard by any means. So even if you're into tail switch mode, you just put on moonlight. So you can easily access that. It's comfortable enough to use. I wouldn't consider any of the grips a hot spot unless you're really gripping down hard. Then you will feel all the different contours and edges of the flashlight design. It also has a magnetic base, which I neglected to mention when I was going over the features. But you can stick this onto metal surfaces. I just have a knife right here. There you go. Pretty stable. Moves a little bit if you shake it, but it shouldn't have any issues sticking to metal surfaces. Now I just turn on the tail switch. This is widely available. You can purchase it directly from Wuben's website or from the Amazon storefront. Currently, it's listed at $38.99 at the time of this video. The regular price is $49.99, but they will be having a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale through December 1st, and I believe it's going to be even lower than $39. I will throw all types of information in the description. Go check that out. What are my final thoughts? I like this. The color combination's not really my thing. However, they do offer in black and as well as a gray finish. And they also have diffusers. So if you want something that's not as bright during night times, they have two different diffuser options. They also have a bike mount. So if you want to throw this on your bike, if you're riding and you need that light source towards the evening time when the sun's gone down, that is an available option as well. There is a bit of a learning curve. It's fairly easy to slide up and down on the switch, but with most flashlights, there will be a bit of muscle memory, so to speak. You'll always know that if you click it all the way down, it's locked, all the way up is moonlight, and then just in between as you continue to learn the different features of this flashlight. The tail switch is helpful, especially how it jumps into turbo mode. For me, that's a great source of self-defense if you ever needed it. Be able to extract it. The only thing though, as you're extracting it, since the flashlight is facing upwards, you would have to change the orientation of it before using the tail switch. So I think that would have been better designed as light facing downwards. So as you extract it, you're ready to go with the tail switch. I'm still getting used to the different features such as the side lights, being able to toggle through all the different colors of the rainbow. For me, it's more of a nice to have. I just don't have too many situations where that's helpful, but get creative with it. At least you'll have the option on this light. And if you do switch during, if you change to a different light source while it's on, it will turn off. I think for the money, it's a decent value, especially if you get one on sale. I've heard that during the Kickstarter for this flashlight, they were going for about $60. I think it's a much better value now than it was before. And it seems that Wuben is coming up. There's a lot of different models they do make. So I can imagine as they continue to progress in this market that they will continue to refine the designs and the functionality. Let me know if you have a Wuben in your collection. If flashlights are your thing, I have been getting more and more into flashlights lately as part of my EDC, especially when the sun is starting to go down a little earlier. Having a flashlight on me does help in case I'm out and about towards the nighttime. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please drop that below. We'd love to engage. Again, I will be leaving some resources, so check that out. Really thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay frosty.